Hi, welcome back to Tracking Network for Joppy. Work is going great, I guess. We are now building prisons. Essentially, we have another project. It means that eventually we'll end up with 14 locations this year, so going up from 2. Actually, the second one wasn't confirmed yet until last month, so we're like ramping up from 1 location to 14 this year, which is great. So I guess I won't be that worried anymore about losing this contract and applying a lot. So that's good. Like gives me a bit of rest. So yeah, like it's also really positive that people starting to believe in the system, and yeah, the company is getting more positive on it. So it's all good news. Anyway, I also did some work for the accountant. I made like a small import program for them. I was demoing that to them, and turned out that they didn't need it at all. It's a bit unfortunate, but what do you do? So on the romantic front, okay, so yeah, like I'm still trying to find a partner. And I tried inviting a friend over for a barbecue so that we could go, out together, so we can like find a woman, essentially, so I can because I always get so awkward by going out alone. Maybe that's just something I should work on more. I tried doing it last year, but I haven't done it in the Netherlands. It's easier in Aruba, I guess. Anyway, it didn't work out because he didn't understand that like barbecue means we also gonna go out after. But yeah, we're gonna try this out later again in like a couple of weeks. So that should work out. And actually, some friend of China is also coming over, and yes, we're gonna go out. It's next week, I think. And yeah, so like a lot of social stuff coming up, and there's like more opportunities. I'm rolling more dice and having more chances to find a partner, I guess. Yeah, I actually wish there was a systematic way for me to do this. I mean, I've tried dating apps, but Tinder doesn't work at all for me. I think I'm in elo hell for Tinder. Maybe I should just make a new account so that I get reset and it like at least gets some matches, because you don't get any matches. It works for Bumble, I get matches, but most people don't talk. And I think like the entire dating app experience is just extremely shitty for men. So I don't want to spend too much time on it anyway, because I'm also like strapped for time, so I can't just be spending hours upon hours swiping. That's just not gonna work for me. I can do maybe 5 minutes max per week, not even per day, because it's too much of a distraction for me to pick up every time. So yeah. Okay, so the numbers. Something interesting happened this month, I guess. Well, first of all, I start recording this video later, but I did record the numbers on time. It doesn't take me that long to record all the numbers. It takes like an hour, but recording this video is quite a commitment. I have to record, I have to edit, and yeah. So my current net worth has dropped. We can see this from the graph better, I guess. And the reason it dropped, not because of the reason stock sell off, because that actually happened after I recorded. After I recorded these numbers, the stock started like dropping 8%. Or 10% even, another 10%. So that helped, because I had some stocks. But the major reason for this is because of the currency. The euro has gained in strength for once, which is good for me on a day-to-day basis. But because the house is essentially valued in dollar, it's bad. It's bad for the valuation. So yeah. We can see it being a little bit better on the income statement. Okay, so I changed the pie charts. So I wasn't happy with the pie charts because it was really difficult to see the proportion change over time. So I changed it in these bar graphs, and I think it's a lot better, even though there's not that much change. There hasn't been a lot of change. Cash is still at 50k most of the time. So yeah, there hasn't been a lot of change. But we can see that I guess the real issue is that I haven't been recording that long. So you don't see a lot of change. But yeah, like what we want to do is we want to get this stock to like 50% probably. And that's going to take a while. I mean, okay, I have to be honest with you here. I'm not sure if I'm going to focus on stock now. Well, we're not there yet, right? We want to pay off the debts first. That's like the primary goal, because that's, what we wrote down here. Trying to reduce the debt payments, because then we are closer to financial independence, and we want to have like lean financial independence, which I guess I should call this Spartan fire progress. So if I don't go on vacations, if I don't do anything ever in my life, and I just eat and sit at home all day, probably watching video content, then yeah, I am like financially independent once I pay off the debt. Maybe get 100k in stocks just like as a buffer. But the issue is that the income from the Aruba Airbnb has been really good. It has been really, really good. Like, it's is outperforming to what I expected. I was happy with around 2,500 euros a month. I'm getting quite consistently more than that, I think. So I need to consider, like, should I mean, yeah, I should do the 100k. I should just finish this goal, right? But after that 100k, should I like try focus on balancing my portfolio, or should I just like go all in on this thing I'm good at? Yeah, that's like a decision I guess we can make after doing this goal. Okay, so business income and expenses. So first of all, we got 11k 500 for, the 500 additional is for the accountant work. And then I have to pay taxes on value-added taxes. So some of this income will be subtracted for value-added taxes. Because this is a local company in the Netherlands, and then I have to pay value-added taxes. Actually, like I bill it to them, and then the tax service will later on subtract it from my income. So yeah. Okay, expenses. So I had to pay 500 euros for some kind of authentication system. I didn't have to pay 500, I had to pay 100, but I paid 500, so I have it for 4 years. I don't think that was a good deal, actually. I probably should just done the 100 and let it expire, but I paid 500, so yeah. I overpaid by 400, but there you go. You sometimes make mistakes. Okay, the holding expense is just car stuff, so that's like all good now. But you're also just checking the payment I do to myself. So we end up with a gross profit of around 7,155 and net profit of around 5,800, which is good. Okay, so the business assets and liabilities, we got 570 euros in the N26 bank account. So we're still trying to close this one, but haven't done it yet. I still have to do the fiber. I need to move that to another bank account, and that involves me calling to them. I haven't done it this week. Probably do that next week. Okay, then we got like 6,551 in the Yappy software account. We got 311 euros in the ING account, so like, some taxes have been paid from that. Saving account hasn't changed at all because it's a savings account, and we just use this for the emergency fund, so it will just sit there and do nothing, and that's fine. We barely get any interest on it, but Dutch banks screw you over big time, so whatever. Then these brokerage accounts, so the Russian account keeps going up, but this is probably half of that because of the Ukrainian war, but what do you do? This probably has been dropping more now because there's a giant sell-off everywhere. Okay, so the Yappy bond, so this is like the loans I do to myself. I'm just tracking it here and to make sure that I don't forget. Well, actually the accountant will track it for me, I think, but I think it's a bit higher as well because I probably subtracted money from it last year as well, but back then it was a bit messy. I'm way more organized about all this stuff now. So I just started at some point, and then hopefully I can correct it after the fact, but we'll see. Just put some start number in front of here probably. Yeah, so the shareholder equity is now 7,816, and we put the VAT here as well to make sure we don't forget about the liability. I haven't paid this yet. Yeah, I'll pay it like a month later. Oh right, and this is the profit tax, right? So this is something we have to pay next year actually. Some of this, part of this. I think a large part will be paid. Yeah, these will be paid this year in July, and these will be paid next year. Okay, so my own income and expenses. What have we done this month? We got the private income, so it's like the normal 3,400. This is like my wage I pay myself. And then we got income taxes. So this has dropped down a lot because we know for a fact that this will be low because we did the BV setup, so that's good. Then we got the Airbnb income. Yeah, this is what I mean, right? So we get a lot of Airbnb income. The manager costs, so this is also includes for April, and there's some booking that extends all over May as well. And I think I made a bad deal there, but it's already in place, so I cannot change it. But three girls have booked the Airbnb for 1.5 months, and they pay around 5,800 in total. But that's probably like less than I could get via Airbnb around May, because May is a really good month. I thought at the time, like, okay, if I can get to 2,700 euros in profit, I'm making a good deal. And it is working out for me well, right? 2,700 euros in profit. But as you can see, we can also get 3,000 euros in profit. So there's like more money to be had here, but yeah. You don't always know this beforehand. Okay, so yeah, the manager cost included in that. And then we got the running cost. This is okay. So, it's around 850. The power bill was really high this month for some reason. No, the water bill was really high. I don't know why, but I cannot really do a lot about that. I've been looking into digging a well. I probably should do that because if I can get a well there, then it would save so much water. Yeah, it's like 250 euros a month or something on water. Yeah, so it's worth investigating. Okay, living expenses is quite high. This is because I bought the clothes last month, so they all came to roost this month. And we got our debt payments, so this is just paying the mortgages. Okay, I would like to know, the remainder. We got 9,357, but this is like including the remainder of the debt we borrowed, because we kept subtracting the money from the company to put into our savings account that actually has a better yield of 2.5%. Because we need that money later on anyway to pay income tax, so we'll just put it there and then make a little bit extra. But without debt, the income has been 3,330 this month, which is killing it. I guess we had really high income this month. You can see it from net income. It's like a lot higher than the other month. But that's good. Okay, so let's go over to assets and liability. So we got, I spent some of the cash actually. I got a little bit upset that I have so much cash. 35 euros, the inflation, we gotta spend it. But the idea is that I spend this cash, then I don't have to use the bank account and I can save more money, right? So we got 5,539 euros in the private bank account. We got 3,397 euros in the Aruban bank account. And I've been sending over more money to Aruban bank account because the exchange rate has been better. So I saw it go up, the exchange rate, and I instantly sent money. And just before recording this video, I think today, I sent more money because it went even higher, the exchange rate. So, every time I send it with better exchange, then essentially the costs go lower for me. Okay, Trade Republic is building up and we want to build this up to around 18,000 at least, so that we can pay our debt for income tax. So we have to, we get a payment of 20k or something for income tax we have to do from private. And we also have to pay 10k for business taxes. Yeah, we got a 30k balloon payment coming up in July, and we were just preparing for that. Okay, so the equity in the holding is growing, and that's just because we're borrowing from it, so it has to be paid back eventually. Pension account is dropping like a rock, and that's because of the stock market. That's fine. This hasn't even included the latest changes in the stock market. That's a bit unfortunate. Shares of Superseed, they don't change with that kind of stuff because they're shares. All right, and I know for a fact that neighbor sold their house for 328k. I have the corner house and they have the in-between house. So it's like a row home. So you got home, 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 built tightly next to each other. And I have the corner house and they have the row house. So they have two neighbors directly to each other. They sold it for 328k, so it's reasonable to assume that my house is also worth that, because they're the same house, right? They got a better kitchen, but I have roof chapel, so I got a bit more space than them. It's essentially the same house, but I'm on the corner, so usually they're worth a bit more. So it's safe to assume this should be 350 or 340,000, but we won't modify it. We'll keep using the WOZ value because that's easier for me, and I don't have to do these comparisons. But yeah, this is just nice to know that actually it's probably worth more. I got a confirmation. Student debts, that's the same. It went up a little bit again, but I took the measurement a day too early. It was on the 30th instead of the 1st of April, but that's fine. You can see I'm a bit strapped of times these days. So I discuss all the extra social stuff I'm doing. Aren't we proud of me? I'm making progress. Okay, so deferred income tax, that's 17,500 euros. And deferred dividend tax is 20,000 euros. So this is the tax I paid if I would liquidate the holdings. I would have to pay dividend tax, and it's growing now faster because we get the 33% instead of the 24%. But yeah, so the deferred pension tax, this is actually going down because the pension fund is dropping, and then the mortgage is I did this measurement before doing the payments, so it's the same. I did pay this one though, because this is paid at the end of the month, and this one is paid at the beginning of the month. So this is the HIT fund, and it's slowly trickling down. I don't know what to do with these payments, but they follow this formula. And yeah, so this is the debt I have to the UPI holding. I keep borrowing from this. And to my shock, my liabilities went up. But they're going up because we're taking into account the debts we have to pay. But to my other shock is that my assets are going down. And that's because the house value dropped so much. And that's just because of currency bullshit. So yeah, we're extremely liable to the euro. If the euro goes down in value, because we have assets in dollars, relatively they become worth more according to our eyes, right? If we would sell it and convert the dollars into euros, then we get more euros. So yeah, but if we would have done this measurement in dollars, then probably would be on the other side of the coin. We would have lost like 38k in the previous month and gained 16 this month. But yeah, we are doing all the stuff in euros. So yeah, we have a 16k difference. So I spent a month working. You tell me I spent a month working and I lost 16k. That's not fair. And I had all this income, right? We had an income of 3,300. What the hell happened to this? Well, it went up due to currency bullshit. But yeah, we're like, this is all fictitious. Like, we didn't actually do the trade, right? We still hold the asset, so it's not like we still hold the underlying. So why is 16k gone? Yeah, so quick cash. It's growing because we were preparing to make that other debt payment for income tax, and liquid assets is also growing because we want to make those debt payments. Mortgages still going down, fortunately. It's below 200,000. Wow. Actually didn't even notice that last time. That feels good. And how much do I own in the house? So yeah, you can see the massive drop here because of currency. And you could see how much the net worth is dropping without the primary house. And that's because the other house is actually measured. This is included with the other house because supposedly you're not gonna sell your primary house as like a business deal, but you would sell that other house if you really need to, right? Like if you need some money for some other opportunity or whatever, then you could sell that and it wouldn't throw your life into disarray. Yeah, so that's why you call that into the net worth. Okay, so the high yield debt is also going down. Actually, that's also nice to see. It's already 46,000. I would be extremely happy if I were to be able to pay off this in this year. I don't think I am, but it's improving. And another good thing to see is that the high yield debt as a percentage of liabilities is still trickling down, even though our total our debt ratio is going up. So we are getting more debt, but they're not expensive debts. That's good. And yeah, a lot of this debt is just like financial engineering around with a tax service. The fact the net worth went down, that has never like it has. I think it has happened before. Yeah, here for example, and that was over a quarter. So this is only over a month, but it dropped by a lot, right? I think it probably will also drop. It may drop also next month. Even though I don't have that much stock exposure, if the euro keeps gaining strength, then yeah, I'll probably lose more value. Like that's the big one, the currency. Perhaps if you look at the overview here, maybe the way to deal with diversification isn't to focus on real estate and stock division, but on how much exposure I have to certain currencies, and just try to get more diversification in that instead. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. If you like, well, please leave a comment. Actually, I love reading the comments. And go watch all my other network videos if you like this content. Until next month. Bye.